Hello, everybody. This is Reed Mahalka from readaboutsex.com, and it is dun 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 the after camp call with Reed and company, because Kathy and Mason and other people have already been doing calls after camp. Apparently, there's a thread on Signal or Messenger or whatever, which I think I'm not a part of, which is great. Because you're all up to your own shenanigans. And I am back from a whirlwind tour of recovering from camp and also teaching in New Orleans, and then moving Allison back from grad school. So the house is filled not just with camp boxes and bins, but also with Allison's grad school stuff. So the house is a lovable mess, and Dax and Allison are back, and I'm really glad to be home, but it is also hella hot right now. So mostly what this call is just to check in and to say hi and to share like things that we learned from camp. And what I would love if, as you notice, if new people start popping in, like, share in the chat, like what's been an aha moment, how's it going, share things that you've been struggling with. But what I want to do just to kind of start off is I'm going to throw people into some breakout groups for you to just kind of almost like you had your little pods that we did back at camp. And I'm just going to set up the breakout rooms. If you don't want to be in a breakout room, you don't have to. If you don't want to be on the recording, just turn your camera off and you can put questions and share things in the chat. Like, this is all, you participate how you want to participate. If you're listening to this recording later, we love you. Thanks for listening to the recording. We hope this brings you, some nostalgia and some fun. And I am gonna we'll do groups of 4 or 5 people. And it is going to mix people randomly. So if for some reason you show up in a room and you're like, I don't want to talk to these people, pop out and no one will be the wiser. And we can throw you in another room. So breakout room, you've got like 2 or 3 minutes each to share. It's groups of 4 or 5. So it's about 12 minutes. Ready, set. Closes. Look at these faces. I'm going to mute some people. Mute. And 10, 9, 8. Here they come. The hordes of campers raining down upon us. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. If you want, if you're on a computer screen and you can make your screen bigger, like your window, you can see all the lovely faces. We have 30 campers with us today. Hi, everyone. If you want, I'm going to take a screenshot. Is this all 30 of you? Hang on, let me see if I make this bigger. I guess that's all 30. I'm going to take a screenshot, and then we can use it to shame everybody who couldn't be here tonight. Okay, so I'm going to do a screenshot, and then everyone wave or make a silly face. 1, 2, 3, screenshot. There you go. Good job, everyone. Good job. So what I want to do, we're going to have a contest report from Dean Vartuli in a moment, but I would love to hear or read in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself and share, you can raise your electronic hand. Who's had like a win since camp, or something you're like a burning thing you want to share from camp that you're like, I just have to say it to the group. We don't have to hear from everybody, but Bryn had a win. So Bryn, is that like you want to unmute and share, and then people can just type their wins in the chat? Ali Bravo's got a hand up, so Ali's on deck. Bryn, if you want to unmute.
Yeah, I was just saying that my biggest win was just like support is so important. And I reached out to my Dom friend of 30 years and I asked if she had Rex for a pro Dom mentor, because I don't really want to just do this alone. And she offered to mentor me, and she's been doing this for 30 years. And so I'm going to be part of a house house servitors in Los Angeles and earn my titles and get a grand mentor. And so that to me is really big. And then I'm also using a lot of AI. CapCut, I was saying I really recommend CapCut if people aren't using CapCut for all across. And then if you can afford it, or if you know somebody who does, who currently I do have through my work, AnyWord is such just, it doesn't censor. AnyWord is a AI program that's not free, but if you know somebody who uses it, it doesn't censor. I use it for the sex toy stuff. So there is some stuff that's not censored.
Could you throw in the chat when you get a chance what those ones are? And would you like us to celebrate you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you want, everyone, if you want to unmute yourself, or I think if you press your space bar, it will unmute you until you lift your finger if you're on a computer, on a phone, I don't know what the fuck. And then on 3, we can celebrate Bryn. 1, 2, 3.
Yay! So good. So good.
Yay.
That's incredible.
Okay, Ali Bravo, then Brittany, and then Elise.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So I just got back from, or not quite back, but mostly back from High Sierra Music Festival. And I've been working at music festivals for like well over a decade, but this particular one since 2019. And it's like a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, like all different ages, like, you know, and people that like jam bands and bluegrass and like just kind of people from a lot of people that are not in this world. And so I have a lot of them as like my internet friends. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say I had at least 50, if not 75 people like tell me that like the stuff that I share, especially around sex positive world, like is deeply impactful for them and like is stuff they would never consider. And so like just to be spreading, and then like, you know, I was managing a 50-person team with 4 or 3 other co-leads, and like in our opening meeting had a whole section on consent and was like, it's not just like sex stuff, it's like hugging, it's about holding space, it's about all this stuff. And like just really love, you know, the ways in which getting to disseminate this work in worlds that are like not adjacent to it. And that's a big win for me. So thanks for the encouragement and the like stretching and the invitation to stretch there.
You're welcome. Would you like to be celebrated, Ali Bravo?
When do I not like to be celebrated?
I mean, you never know. That's why we ask. All right, on 3, you know the routine. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
That's amazing, Ali.
All righty. Brittany.
Hey, everyone. So good to see so many beautiful faces. I have been ebbing and flowing, but I created a landing page for my website, and I've been making hella content on Instagram. So that's felt really, really good. There's my website landing page. Please share feedback. You can DM me, email me. My email's on the landing page, but it feels good to have somewhere to start. So appreciate all of you.
Wow. Would you like to be celebrated? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yay. Liz.
Hello. I had COVID this weekend, boo. But because I had all this time home alone, I got to create the agenda and invite page for the in-person event that I've been fantasizing about holding for a long time. So I'm gonna put that in the chat for anyone who is in the New York area or is curious, wants to give me feedback. I would love feedback. Yeah, I'm so freaking excited to do it. And like once we picked a day and started actually working on it, my boyfriend was like, oh, I actually have a friend who has like the perfect space to host this in for free. And we reached out to him and he was like, boom, this date's perfect for me. Like, here's everything you need to know. So it's just like once we moved on it, it was a fuck yes on all sides. And I'll be celebrating now. Thank you.
That is great. All right. 1, 2, 3. Celebration.
Woo!
Amazing. You rock.
All right. Anyone else? You can share in the chat.
There were
Don't
some people in the chat that said they would like to share if there was time.
All right. Well, who is it? I don't want to scroll.
Hey there.
Yes.
So since camp, I have been connecting a lot with my business coach and launching all of my Instagram stuff. And I am now linking up with people to write articles and to have some articles going out. And it's been really, really validating to have people in kind of all the expanses of circles that I'm in to tell me that like the work that I'm trying to do with fiction and with erotica is like important from the leg that it's coming from. And I think particularly with how it's being addressed in like small ways of circles that are not even my own. Like people are sharing like, oh yeah, like that's something that Alexa is finally doing. And like it's been really cool to see the overlap of where those circles combine and see all of that. Particularly because I think I had a lot of it connect for me at camp. So I'm just like really grateful to be able to have done so and like to get to see you guys again because I miss you all a lot. So thank you. That's my win.
Yay. Would you like to be celebrated?
Yeah, I would love to.
All right, get ready, Alexa. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who else? Anyone else?
Dixie and Leanna had commented to share.
Oh, I can share.
Do it.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I got a puppy.
Oh.
And he came into our lives a week ago. He's now 9 weeks old. And it was just meant to be. Anyway, I broke even on the Hollywood Fringe Festival. I was so scared I wouldn't, and my last show was super successful. And I got invited by another theater to bring my show to them. And so that's happening this weekend. And the American Anthropological Association is interested in having me bring my show to their national conference in Tampa in November. So I'm having a Zoom meeting with them in a couple of weeks to discuss it.
Wow. Congratulations. What's your puppy's name?
His name is Zeus.
Okay. Would you and Zeus like to be celebrated?
Sure.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yay, Zeus!
Good.
Yay.
Dixie had said that she had a win as well.
Dixie De La Tour, what is your win?
My win is that the Portland show was a big success, but even better, the venue fell in love with us. Reed, you should know, you were part of that. And I have a call with them tomorrow to bring it back to Portland because they're like, we love your people. They're the nicest, best, most perfect audience ever. We want to fill our house with them every single night.
Nice.
That's you guys.
Well, congratulations, Dixie. Would you like to be celebrated?
I would.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations.
Anybody else? Who'd we miss? Who's like, I don't really have anything to celebrate? Lies. All lies. You're home or wherever you are.
Victor,
You look
said they
alive.
had something to share.
Yeah, since returning home from camp, I was a little inspired. I took some time to decompress, which took a while, but then one of my friends volunteered to be an accountability buddy for me, and I might be writing a book on consent because he has some hookups in the publishing world. He's just getting his book published. It's just actually published. So yeah, so that's really different, not something I thought I would be doing, but I'm going to write something age appropriate, and I've got like an outline started. So I did the thing. I made progress, and I'm happy with that.
Oh my God. May we celebrate you?
Yes, please.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Go.
We
Thank
got
you. That was
Nisha and then Diane on deck.
Oh, sorry, I'm cooking.
That's
Uh,
okay.
I don't have anything. Well, I did get my freemium because thanks to the accountability group, I got step one, the part one or week one of implementation. And the other thing is I just connected with so many people here. Like I love commenting and commenting on everybody's social media and just seeing everybody thriving on social media. And so I try to comment as much as I can on everybody's posts, just to, to say, hey, you're looking good, or oh, this is great, or thanks for sharing, or whatever. So I just wanted you to know that I'm out there doing that. I'm trolling you.
Congratulations. May we celebrate you?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Diane.
Yeah, so sadly, there's a lot of camp I don't remember, but one of the highlights was teaching a short class in sex positive self-defense, and it was really well received, and I've been sitting on this website for many, many, many years, and so it's exciting to know that it still feels relevant, and now more than ever. And I've been cautious for so many years because I work with vulnerable populations. I work with, immigrants and asylum seekers and unaccompanied youth and all kinds of stuff. And instead of like living in fear, I just really want to start with the stuff that I care about. Sex positive self-defense for sex workers and for kinksters and for, alternative communities. And so it's exciting to just not have the same kind of fear. And I feel like that being in an environment with so many people that were just putting themselves out there really made a difference for me to feel like there is a community that wants these skills and I have something to offer. So, and Reed knows this is a really long time coming. So it's exciting to me.
Yeah. Thank you. Would you like to be celebrated, Diane?
Sure. I would love to be celebrated. Maybe with if you want to do some palm heels.
Okay, everyone, don't hit your microphones or ruin your computers. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! It looks like a bunch of kitty cats trying to make biscuits.
That works too. But I posted a video of a train the trainers class that I did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any final ones, and then we'll get a contest update from Dean Vartuli. Yes, Ruth.
All right, some people might already know this, but I think I'm still on a little bit of a high that at the Bawdy Storytelling, somebody actually shared a story that involved me using, sharing about the Sibian and teaching the Sibian. And even though I wasn't there in the story by name, because I was sitting with like 20 of us, everybody knew it was me, and it was just hilarious. I've shared stories before, but I've never been the topic of a Bawdy story before. Even though I was periphery, it still felt really, really good. So yeah, that felt very affirming for me. So I wanted to share that.
Thanks for sharing that. May we celebrate you?
Please. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So cool. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right. So if there's any burning shares, we'll take them. If not, we're handing it over to Dean Vartuli. Going once, going twice. Unmute yourself now or forever hold your peace. Everyone take a deep breath. And then go. Oh. And now, let's have that contest update from Dean Vartuli.
I feel like you should have a radio voice or something. So we have some amazing videos that people have sent me for both the testimonial and the sponsor videos, but they were still very low compared to what we normally have. So for the sponsor videos, we have just 13 videos. They're really fun. But since we have 11 sponsors, that's pretty low. And there aren't any for the Cowgirl for the Unicorn. and a bunch of the others have won. So please realize we give a newbie award. We want to make sure that we give everyone, you have a good chance of winning basically if you submit something. And we want to have the sponsors get more than one video for having them sent like a ton of sex toys, literally sometimes. So if you're shy about it, like people have sent me a 20-second TikTok that's they're fun, they're delightful. I had one person sent me a whole bunch of them. It's so delightful. It's really fun to watch. They don't have to be perfect. So if you're kind of holding off, Friday at midnight is the deadline, and we don't want to extend it again because we need to get these to them. So if you've been thinking about it, we'd really love to see them. The sponsors feel really seen and heard when they see them, and it would make a big difference for Reed next time he throws something that he wants to get toys or sponsorship. It would make a big difference for him, and people will see your stuff out there. So you can even find accountability buddies, or I've worked with someone before where I had to shoot videos and we got on Zoom together and recorded each other and like just supported each other, or we recorded it together. So whatever that, any thoughts you have on there. Questions in there. We're really low on basically everything. We have the only ones we have multiple for. We have 4 Enjoy, and we have 2 Uberlube and 2 Evolve Novelties, but the rest are all 1s or 0s. You can text short videos to my phone, or you can email me at kathy@theintimacydojo.com. They do not have to be posted on social media. They can, if it's not your brand to put it on social media, you do not need to put it on social media. You can email me the links or text me the links if you do have it posted on social media, but if you do not want to, just send me the videos. If you send them on Gmail to my Gmail account, kathy@theintimacydojo.com, it goes to my Gmail account. It will give me a link and I'll be able to download them even if they're big. So it's only, today is Tuesday and Friday is the deadline, so I'd really love to see a whole bunch more come in, and I'd love to see you win really amazing prizes. Reed, were you going to surprise me with a new prizes or no?
No, I'm fixing the Sweatcedo order form so we can do a second run of orders. Maybe there'll be another prize, but I don't have bandwidth to think about it right now. As if our prizes were not delicious enough. Oh my goodness, you ungrateful bunch of sex toy dragging home through TSA. Amazing humans.
Can I give a Sweatcedo update?
What was that?
Can I give a Sweatcedo update?
Let me finish.
Yes, Ali Bravo. Wait, Kathy, any other contest things?
I'm still answering questions from the, if you don't
Ali
mind.
Bravo, give Dean Vartuli room.
Back off, Ali. Just teasing. So if you have different accounts, please let me know what your name was registered at camp, because otherwise it's hard for me to track who's what. If you have a sex worker account, whatever, you can send them for multiple accounts. It's fine. They just have to be different videos for every time you send me a link. Mason, are you seeing any other questions I missed in the chat?
Yes, there was a couple questions about, I'll say, privacy issues. So depending on what social media you're posting to, you can post, like for instance, I post to YouTube, you can post it unlisted, and then that's a way to get it posted and then make it more like private, so that way it's online, and you can easily send the link to Kathy, that way it's uploaded. But then if it's not your brand, or you're having issues with, I saw someone said something about trolls, or you're worried about things getting flagged, that's a way to at least get it up without having to worry about it flagging. The other option is to direct email it to Kathy.
Yeah, because I'll post it privately on YouTube, and then we'll make sure that it doesn't get trolled or anything, but the sponsors can get them. So I think that's the question. Lex offered to mentor or help people if they want that. Ruth also said if anyone wants to video with her to let her know. They don't, yeah, okay. I think we got all the questions answered there. If you have other questions that aren't answered there, feel free to email me. I'll put it in here, Kathy@theintimacydojo.com, and I'll get right back to you. So the ones I've seen are so fun. I can't wait to see more. They don't have to be a certain length. We have 20, 30-second TikToks and ones that are 4, 5, 10 minutes long, but just get them in if you can. I'd love to see them.
All right. Thank you, Dean Vartuli, for the contest update. And now we go down to the playing field with Ali Bravo for a Sweatcedo update.
Hi, friends. So I am getting confirmation from Rich on the kind of like lead time. We're gonna reopen the form. Reed is making some updates to it right now. You will have 2 weeks to submit your order. The form is pretty comprehensive, has links to the sizing chart. I would say it might also be a good idea if people want to like start a thread on the alumni group with pictures in their sweatcedos and kind of what size they ordered, if people were comfortable with that. Just to kind of like, compare and contrast whether they felt true to size or sizing wise. They all are going to be long. You will have to hem them unless you have giraffe legs. So order for width, not length. They will be long, the pants. And we're only doing green again for this order. If you wanted another color, you can do that if you do the order yourself through the website, and you will not get the discount on the sweatcedo. And any other, you will pay Reed, and we are figuring out shipping cost. And I think that is all the updates.
Yeah, what we can do is if you want to put your order in, I'll add what the shipping cost is once we hear back. So just don't pay me yet, and then we can reach out to you and let you know what the final costs are for shipping. And then, did I notice something else in the thing? Somebody asking, Mason, was somebody asking about mugs, coffee mugs?
Yep. So I closed the order for that. I think it was like last Friday-ish. They are to be going to printing hopefully this coming weekend, since they couldn't get done this past weekend. So hopefully they will get printed this coming weekend, and then I will ship them out after.
Cool. Thank you for doing that, Mason. Mason, can we just celebrate you for doing the mugs for us?
Sure.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mason.
Thank you so much, Mason.
Yay.
Yeah, because I had
Mason.
cases of the FOMO. When I saw them, I was like, dang, I should have ordered one. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm letting you all know that this is probably the most on top of wrapping up a camp we've ever been, as far as like getting people things. And for the people who waited an entire year for last year's mugs or the year before, I apologize. Yeah. So, and also if you ever run your own event, maybe don't do mugs at the end, because it is a lot, unless you have somebody like Mason and you just, bribe Mason to do it for you. Because like fulfillment after you're exhausted from an event, and then the event never ends, it can be a lot. So like, get support. Dixie's saying, if you ever run your own event, maybe don't. Take it from us. For those of you who are called to running live events, just be such a great teacher that you just make appearances at other people's events and let them do it. And of course, some of you are just going to be cursed with running events because you love it. And Kathy.
A couple people said they had posted the videos for the sponsors. You need to send me the links. I will try to go through social media to find them all. But if you have not sent me the links, there's a chance I'll miss them because there's a lot going on. So please email them to me. And I'll post again. If you want to see last year's sponsor videos, the link is there in the chat.
Cool. And thanks for doing all the contests, Kathy. So get your contests things in and have fun with that. And you get your mug order. Well, the mug orders are done. You've got your sweatcedo things. So all the fun things.
If you really want a mug and forgot about it, message me directly after this, and I will see if I can accommodate you. Wait, right away after this, okay?
Whoa.
Since they didn't get done this past weekend, you may have a little bit of wiggle room.
And you might want to compliment me.
Where do we message you?
Yeah. Where do we message you?
Facebook's the easiest.
There you go. Facebook. Message Mason. Compliment Mason on that delightful haircut. Looking summery. Looking cool. Breezy. So mostly this call was really just to do a check-in. and create some like yay and fun. And the only reason we didn't do this call sooner with me is I've been busy. Just another thing, you know, sometimes you stack a bunch of things after a big event or class. So like take care of yourselves as best as you can. When you have to like close one event and then jump to another one, because sometimes that's just how the gigs line up. I do want to ask, did anybody have a big aha moment around like self-care? Like you had an epiphany and discovered a new thing that you found out about yourself for self-care that you might want to share with any of us, Nisha, because that might be really your aha moment might like save somebody so much in the future. So Nisha.
So I had a great talk with Dixie. And she and I have talked, and she gave me some really cool websites. One was around I feel like I have ADHD. I have not been diagnosed with it. However, my attention span is like, ooh, squirrels. So I have been trying the Pomodoro technique. So thank you for sharing that, Dixie. I haven't mastered it. I still see squirrels 10 minutes in, or at work, I say I'm going to focus on emails and then I get a Slack and it's like, oh, darn, you know, so I'm trying to get better with it, but thank you for sharing that. And then also the other thing Dixie shared with me was, what it was, it side hustle school. That has
Side hustle school. Yeah.
Yes, I have shared it with everybody I know, but also how it's helped me is because I feel a type of way about working my full-time job because I really don't want to be there. They ain't did nothing to me, and it kind of really pays for my lifestyle basically. But I just don't want to be doing it. But it helped to calm me to be like, this job is for a purpose. It's for a purpose. And it's just really cool to hear other people like what they did as side hustles and how they turn their loves into side hustles. So that was self-care for me. Thank you.
That's great.
And if anybody else is interested in Side Hustle School, it's an everyday podcast that's 10 minutes long. It's a great way to remind yourself that your dream is something, it's hard to keep plugging along if you're trying to change into a whole new job and everything like that. I find it very uplifting.
Cool. And it's called Side Hustle Podcast?
Side Hustle School Podcast.
Cool.
The host is Chris Gillibo. It's got the word Gillibo. He's got the hardest name to spell in the world, but he's got a book called Side Hustle and everything like that.
Cool.
It's
That's
like
great.
every day, 10 minutes. Easy.
Nice. Thanks, Mark, for putting the link in the chat. And then Dixie, while I have you, do you want to talk about, you've got a storytelling class coming up, right?
Yes, I do. And it's coming up soon. If anybody's interested, I just put tickets online. I'll put it in the chat. I just built them today.
I've got you. Hang on. I put it in the chat.
So I am doing a 6-week class called How to Be Body, Dixie's Secret System for Uncensored Storytelling. The things we talked about in my workshop at camp are a lot of the things we're covering, but it's a great way for you to check out, you know, kind of like trying things on, because sex can feel loaded. Sometimes you're like, what's the best way to phrase this? So my audience is going to be in the right frame of mind and stuff like that, as I talked about how to speak for your audience. And yeah, Nisha's already signed up. You get $50 off with code SexGeek. It will be on Monday nights for 6 weeks, starting on July 22nd. I know that's soon, that's 2 weeks away, but I'm touring starting in September. So this was how I could squeeze the 6 weeks in, and I'd love to have campers in the class. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks. Now I'm thinking what some other people are thinking. Nisha maybe didn't have that code. Like, how does Nisha get her $50 back?
Oh, I'm prepared to talk to Nisha about that right after here. That code was right before we got on the thing, but I'm gonna take care of Nisha. Don't you worry.
No, I'm pointing it out because it's funny, but also if you ever make a coupon or give some special, like you might have to wrestle with like, oh, the people who already bought tickets, what do I do? And like, welcome running events and selling tickets to things. And
Yep.
these are abundance problems, everyone. Good luck with them. Have fun. So I want to end on time. We scheduled for an hour. This was more, the intention was to check in. And I'm going to end with just kind of sharing some things that I wish I'd had in place for camp that we didn't have in place, because a lot of times hindsight is 2020 and how you improve things. And so the two things I want to share, and mostly I'm just modeling, like when you run an event or a course or whatever you're doing, you're teaching for somebody else, like you didn't, I think personally, like every experience is a learning curve experience. You didn't do anything wrong. And if you can learn and grab the things while they're fresh and try to update them and install them, that would be really great. And for those of us who run workshops and live events, for those of us who run play parties and foster community, a lot of times it is through the crunchy stuff that you find whatever the upgrade is that you wish you had had before. So this last camp, the things I wish I'd had in place, because this was the first year we had like the consent, Nixie coming in and being like a consent lead for people to go to. This was also the experimental year with the bonus day and doing the anti-racism stuff. Mostly the things that I'm looking back at and is like, oh, that would be really great to have. And I'm also offering these for you all to just think about, is if you're running a multiple day event and there is a consent violation that happens, what are some of the things, like what would be your protocols for how you're going to handle it if, a consent violation isn't like, people are automatically asked to leave. And one of the things that came out of some of what was happening at camp was like making it like automatic, like it's a request, but maybe it's like a politely disguised demand, is that if somebody's going through consent stuff at an event, that becomes a part of what they disclose if they're going to be negotiating or playing with other people. And, or, I think it would have been a great upgrade with the consent violation that we had, is like, if you're in an active consent situation and there's repair that's happening, that, a camper would be asked not to go to the play space. Now, does that mean that they can't like partake in, the campfire and s'mores night? Like it becomes a lot, I'm going to say it becomes sticky. And then I just said s'mores, and s'mores are very sticky. But like what are those things that you're not going to be able to predict ahead of time? And this is why it can be so useful and important to like talk to other event leaders and other community leaders about like, hey, like, what are your best protocols? Like, or what did you wish you'd known 5 years ago that you know now? So those kinds of things, and how do we center survivors? There's a whole conversation about, how do we navigate people when they get triggered, or if they know that they have PTSD or CPTSD. Those things I don't necessarily know that I have the protocols for that, but these are conversations that I'm having with other community leaders about like, hey, like, how can we train or onboard people into our events who are new? There's a distinction between when you're running an event and you're building a community. Like you all might feel like you're a community, and maybe you are, but technically camp's an event. Like we have a Facebook group, but we're not necessarily meeting several times a year in real space, in real life. And so like, these are just things for you to think about. Like, do you think camp's a community or is an event and you just made a bunch of friends? And what are the responsibilities for leadership? How do they differ? And I'm kind of leaving that for you all as a thought experiment, as you go off into the world and take camp with you. because you might be creating an event or an experience that is so powerful for the people that are coming to it that like you're very clear that you're running an event, but they feel like they found community, and now you're the leader of that community, even though you're like, I didn't say this was a community. I'm just like planting those little seeds for thoughts and conversations. And also like, how do you leave the campsite better than you found it when you have people coming to an event and this might be the first event that they've ever gone to? And like, how do we prepare people better? The other thing that I don't think I would change, because it was intentional, that the anti-racism work was kind of a surprise for a lot of people. And I feel fine about that. And I know that a lot of people don't handle surprise well. It was vaguely listed. And myself and Oblio couldn't be here tonight. We're supporting Susan and doing a lot of, talking and thinking about how we would have done it different. But like, I would love for those of you who haven't filled out the feedback form yet. And Kathy, do you have the feedback form like handy? We can throw it in the chat. But I would love to hear your feedback on just how things went. Because sometimes you can get more clear when you take a moment to think about it. And some of you don't like doing reviews or feedback. And I totally get it, because I'm not a great feedback former person myself. So like, no shame if it's not your gig. But yeah, I would love to hear like how that bonus day went for you, whether you were in the anti-racism work or whether you were in the pool party or whatnot, because that was an experiment. And if I choose, and this is if I choose to run an event next year at Cedar Ridge, which will not be camp, then your feedback on the bonus day might influence programming for whatever that other event might be. And I'm not saying I'm doing it yet. And then I see a hand from Nisha.
I just want to say this, I'll be very brief. I appreciated that time. It was for me, before I got there, I would just be real. I was concerned. Sometimes when you're around woke white folks, not everybody is as woke as they think they may be and open to feedback. So I was concerned. It was my first time in camp, and I knew I was going to be a minority, you know what I'm saying, in camp. And so I enjoyed that time in that space. So I just wanted to say that. Not to say, but I enjoyed everybody else too. I had a wonderful time. I felt loved and supported and everything, but I did appreciate that time. So I just wanted to share that with everyone.
Thanks, Nisha. And thank all of you for your faith and trust in me and my crazy schemes. I really appreciate that. As we bring this in for a landing, and Kathy, did we have it in there?
I put the link in there.
Awesome, thank you. So check out the feedback form, jump into the Facebook group, and keep supporting each other. It does feel appropriate to check in with Dean Vartuli. Dean Vartuli, any final, like, how is grad school? Any final words from you before we land this plane?
Grad school is amazing. I'm really touched by all of you, what you're doing in the world, and I'm really excited. I love watching the videos you're sending out, your social media posts, and all the energy you're spreading in the world from camp. And I'm just really touched by who you are. So if you want to share that more with the sponsors or whatever, please send those videos to me, but keep doing the amazing work you're doing, because it's really needed. And I love how you're supporting each other. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we thank you for creating camp.
Thank you all for being a part of it, for supporting camp and each other. Thank you to the support team. Like all the work that went in behind the scenes. Lex worked like a whole year getting stuff done. Delphine helped organize a bunch of bins. We put April through hell. Like everybody who helped. There's just too many people to say thank you to. With that, and to try to end on time, I just want you all to remember the Brady Bunch where people would like look up into the sides, like for the recording. If you could just be like, "Thank you for being here," and just kind of look in different directions, and then we'll all say goodbye, and then we'll end the recording and wish each other well, and we'll see you in the Facebook group. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Here. Oh, you were so
All
kind.
right. Until next time, everyone. See you in the feedback form. See you in the Facebook group. See you in the contests. Good night.
Reed, you are a delightful weirdo, and I love you.
We love you, Reed. We love you, Kathy.
Love you, Reed.
All right.
Kathy.
Coops, hang up. Hang up.
Hang up.
Goodbye. Good night. I'm ending the recording now.